Hey guys, Mowers and Blowers here again on a free lawnmower pick. So actually this was very interesting. Guy wanted to just give me his lawnmower, and at the same time he asked me if I had any lawnmowers for sale. And I said sure I do. I got a couple. So I actually, it's worked out for him and it worked out for me because I got rid of one of my lawnmowers. I sold it to him for $75. In return, he gives me a free one, but what he gets out of it is he gets a lawnmower without having to go and buy one. You know, I delivered it to him, you know. Works out for me because I sell a lawnmower and I get another lawnmower. So it worked out fantastic. That's a great bargain, you know, a great trade sort of deal. If all my trades were like that, that'd be fantastic because I would sell it and get another one to fix, to sell again, and get another one to fix, you know, for free. So this is a free mower. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's self-propelled, 21-inch front drive. It's a Craftsman 6.5 horsepower Briggs engine. So obviously when I got it, he says it doesn't start. He said there's something wrong with the carburetor. He said he tried to take it apart, which scares me because when people try to take things apart and they don't know what they're doing, they end up breaking something or losing parts, and I don't know what they did, you know, so gonna have to do some triaging. Anyway, as you can see, the recoil starter is completely pulled out all the way to the end and nothing moves. See, looks like it's off the, there's no tension whatsoever, so that's kind of a pain, you know. I don't like messing with that stuff. I'm sure you guys agree. This wasn't even on there, so it needs 3 little screws to get that back on there. I don't know what's up with that. Another thing is, if you look underneath, alright, this belt cover, the undercarriage belt cover is like shredded and off, and it doesn't look like there's any way it could be mounted there. So I have this one from another, I think it was an Eager 1 Craftsman. You know, I don't know, it may fit. It's not exactly the same one as that one, but if it fits, great. If it doesn't fit, screw it. I just won't have any cover in there. No big deal. Blade looks okay. It's kind of hard to turn, to be honest with you. Belt looks alright. A lot of, there's no tension whatsoever on it, you know, it's very loose. Anyway, so the wheels look pretty good. It's a big wheel in the back. You can tell by the tread, you know, still looks good. And even the front tread looks really good, you know, which is surprising for front-wheel drive lawnmowers, because usually they're all worn out, you know, because they're the ones that's spinning all the time. Anyway, so first thing I'm going to do is, I don't know. What should I do first? Oh, recoil starter. Can't test a lawnmower without the recoil starter being working, right? So that's the first step. You can't check the carburetor if you can't start the engine. You can't start the engine without pulling the recoil starter. So you got to fix the recoil starter first. And then we'll address the carburetor and then the bottom belt cover. That order of priority. So I'm going to take, I already took that bolt off while I was getting this camera ready. I took that off, took that off. There we go. I don't want to lose these bolts. It's funny, I don't know where I put the other two. Anyway, there we go. Put that in there. You can take the gas cap off, otherwise this cover won't come off. Oh, that's right. There's a bolt on the other side over there I gotta get off. So, now that that bolt is taken off, you have the gas line on the bottom here, but you can just put it like that once you have access to the engine cover bolts. It's the dentist from Inspector Clouseau's Pink Panther, for those of you young enough or old enough to know that. So you can tell that this has been serviced before because whoever put this cover back on didn't put it on correctly. It's supposed to be over this panel here. Also, the bolts out of here were like new. See? Others are old, but the two front ones were like new. Take a bolt off here to loosen the oil reservoir. Just rotate it out of the way without pulling it all the way out, otherwise oil may spill all the way out. Anyway, so that dislodges the top cover here so that I can access the recoil starter. Fortunately, this is a Briggs & Stratton recoil starter. As you guys know, some of the older Tecumseh ones don't have a bolt here, so you can't even mess with it. If that goes bad, it's a pain in the ass to get that thing crimped up again so that it slips out, you know. It's like they make it like permanent, you know. They tap it and so it goes wide and you can't get this coil out. So you'd have to replace the entire assembly, or, you know, really go through a lot of trouble to fix it, which I've done before. So that's good. I'll take that out with a flat head and see what we have. So the problem here is that, see how that broke off? It's busted. Focus. Focus. See, it's bent off there, and the rest of it is on there. Usually that's because it's too old or rusty, but this doesn't look too rusty, you know. But the problem is that when you try to do a rebend, like you bend that, the angle that it's at, you know, it's almost like a U-turn. You're putting so much stress on the turn without it being heated or bent correctly with a machine that it'll just snap again, you know. So looks like I might have to replace this recoil. I think I might have another recoil starter in my bag of parts, but I'm not sure. But that's a pain. I'll try it anyway with some needle nose pliers. So I had some luck. I actually did bend it without it going all the way, so that should do it. I'm going to put this back on there now. So I put it back, and you want it to catch onto that little latch. Now you're winding it. I feel the tension. Of course I cut the rope and burned the end so that it's nice and stiff because it's plastic coated. And then that way you can stick it through the two holes easier. I'm trying to do this with my left hand, which is not my dominant hand. Hey, everybody's going to be a lefty someday, right? You can see the butterfly things fell out, but they're not spring-loaded like the Tecumsehs are. It has to do with the cap here, where it's grooved. When you turn it, the grooves just move the butterflies outward. So I'm feeling some tension now. I got to stop this so I can put a screwdriver through one of these holes so it stops it, and I could stick the rope through. So I got the rope through the hole, made a knot at the end. As you can see, it's through there and through there. Make the hole. And I'm going to take the screwdriver out and let it, ooh. Okay. And now I'm just going to slowly let it coil back in by itself. There we go. I'm going to put that back on. See what I was saying about these butterfly things. You just go right in there like that. There's no spring loading like Tecumseh's, but it has this little tab that sticks out like that. And that goes in the grooves here so that when you turn it, it pulls it out. So, see, you pull it. See that? Little butterflies come out. And that's how you fix your recoil starter. Easy, huh? So I'm going to put this all back again. Just reverse engineer it all. Remember to put the cord through here. Otherwise you'll have it outside. While I was in there, since you had the cover off anyway, I took a blower and just blew out the engine to get all the excess grass that's been built up for years there. Not to mention the fins of your head, the engine head. The fins have to be clear so it helps cool the engine better. So now I'm going to put those bolts back on. We just put everything back now. Gas tank is back. Routed it through there. Raised this handle a little bit. This was all loose. So now it's perfect. And I guess now we're going to check out the carburetor. I always laugh because it's like, oh, it won't start. Well, shit. You think the engine might need some air? Duh. So yeah. Probably why it don't start. So there's the air cleaner cover, or base. And I just basically slid it over here to get it out of the way. Check out this. There's not a good seal there. Brush off the dirt a little. First thing I'm going to do is remove the gas line. There's no gas in it anyway, so you just take like a screwdriver and put it over here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a pain in the ass. There you go. You're just going to loosen it up a little. There we go. Loosen the bolts there. So the reason why it was moving around is because it's missing a bolt there. That one right there. It's got one over there, and should have one over there, and there isn't one. So it looks like it's one of those. I have tons of spares from other lawnmowers, so we'll get that straightened out. Here's the carburetor. Gasket looks okay. Really dirty on the outside. It could use a blast on the inside. Yep. And we'll take this apart now. Very surprised. That's old gas, but carburetor's pretty clean. Really surprised. Really clean. That looks like, you know, you got some possible debris in there, so you can see through this damn thing. Wait, can I? Yes, I can. Can you guys see that? I can't see. I can see through it. Anyway, you can see through it, okay? Looks good. Just used a bristle brush and just brushed off the sides there, so the gasket looks okay. Just to make sure, we're going to blow that hole out. The hole in the seat there. Welch plug hole. That hole over there. Going to blow a hole on the right, hole on the left, a little primer hole. The tube in the middle there that goes in from here. Let's see. No other jets or screws. Blow out the joints in there, top and bottom. The fuel inlet. Other than that, man, looks pretty good. So I've got it all put back together. I'm pretty confident that this carburetor is going to work. So we're going to put this back on again. So I've got the carburetor put back on. Fuel lines attached. I even WD-40 that area because that moves. That's dirty. Brush that off a little. Okay, so that assembly is all put together. I even went and cleaned this thing too. How about that? Gonna have to change that, but well, we can't put gas in here and start it yet. Why? Because if we do get it started, that thing would just shred it all up. Gonna have to take that blade out and get that plastic thing out of there. First, we got to make sure which way this thing turns. Should be counterclockwise, so I'm going to pull on this rope a little bit. Yep. So it's going counterclockwise, like 99% of all of them do. Which means they got the blade on right. I once saw it, the blade was on backwards. It's like, I didn't cut well. Oh shit. Anyway, gotta get one of these things. Make sure it's in the right way. I gotta use my hand. Right hand. 9/16. Just like that, man. So I took the old belt cover off and I put this other one on. It looks like it fits, right? But there ain't any holes to put them in, so it's complicated, you know? I don't want to drill into the deck, got to remove the engine, and it's just a lot of trouble, you know? Not worth it. So I'm just gonna go without it. I just put some gas in there and it was leaking right from here. Look at it. That's no good. Gonna have to change the fuel lines. I just happen to have a Tecumseh engine fuel line. That engine over there's been around for a while. I was getting myself to throw it away, but I could fix it. Same length. Fuel line attached now. And I've been waiting around to see if there's any leaks. I don't see any. So you know what? Just gonna try to start it now. See the bubbles? Next thing I did was check the oil. It needed some Earl. Put in a couple ounces. Be good. Alright, and give it a try. Ooh, wanted to. So it started, but why is it so loud? Because there's no damn muffler! Muffler's missing! The hell, if it's not one thing or another, man. You know, fortunately I think I have one. That's Tecumseh though. I don't think that'll fit. Need a Briggs. My box of parts over here, my shed where my other two-stage snow blowers are hibernating. This is with auto choke though, and I believe it's a Honda. It's not gonna work. Aha! Briggs and Stratton muffler. Missing a bolt though. Nice. And look for the bolt. So I couldn't find the other thing that goes in here. I have to remove that. So here's the original bolt, and couldn't find any that fit, you know, and it has to be exactly the same length too, otherwise it's not going to work, right? So these are longer, but I could put washers here. It'll look ridiculous, but anyway, it might fit. But problem is though, the reason why it was off in the first place is because the guy busted the nut here. So that's not really going to work too well. Might have to just try to drill that out, you know, and force a nut in there. Well, it took some doing, but I actually drilled out a hole. I mean, it's a little off, but I think I could drive a nut in there. Man, let me tell you, this one was a pain. Not only did that muffler, I had to fix that muffler, which is fixed now, but the self-propelled wouldn't work, and the two wheels in the front, the gears were all shredded. So I went to my bin of parts again, and I found a couple of wheels that had good gears. This one doesn't match, but has good gears. So I'm just gonna put this thing back in there. So I've got it all cleaned up, and this one's ready to go. Put the bagger on there. Front self-propelled works now. Engine starts and runs good. Got the muffler on there. Looks good. I'm gonna start it up. Got a new air filter inside, brand new. Cool. Well, remember, got it for free. I'll probably put it online for like $150 or something. It's a good mower, you know, self-propelled, the huge bagger, 6.5 horsepower. It's a mulcher too. Looks nice, doesn't it? See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.